Good afternoon, everybody. Hello, Proudmoore. How are we all doing today? You still muted, Vinny? You are.
Hello. I'm just talking to myself.
Oh, we always do this. We always do. One day we will do something perfect, I swear. Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, everyone. I am Sila. You probably already know who I am. I am the front end administrator and co-project lead of Proudmoore.
And I'm Vincent.
Just
Period.
Vincent. We have a jam-packed day today, and I'm going to try and make sure that I don't deviate from it. First of all, can I just check volumes? Can everybody hear everything okay? The only things you should hear is myself and Vinny. So, am I loud and clear? Is Vinny loud and clear? Can we get a really, really quick
Test.
audio check?
Test.
Test,
Should be
test,
fine.
test. 1, 2, 3. Someone, Cribble told me to get down on my knees. I mean, what? Vinny could be a bit louder. Okay.
Okay.
Let's turn Vinny up. His voice is a bit sore from singing though, so just keep that
Yeah,
in mind.
absolutely. Because I have such a good singing voice.
Yeah, exactly. I've turned Vinny up to 200%, so I can't make
Jesus
him any
Christ.
louder.
Should be fine though, right? Should be good enough.
Is it fine now, guys? I mean, worst case scenario, we can just have Vinny eat his mic.
Yeah, I'm already eating it.
Tasty. Caxie, you keep triggering the auto mod. Stop it. Vinny just starts screaming. It's a good idea.
Oh god, let's not do that.
But you did tell me you were in a metal band before, you know? Like, tell us about your days as a metal singer.
Yeah, you mean when I started singing, just eardrums would pop, glass would shatter.
Yeah, it's like, if everyone's a Mortal Kombat fan, he was literally the male version of Sindel.
For sure. Of course.
Alright,
course.
so let's kickstart. So we do have an agenda to follow today, guys. What I would say is, please can we keep all of the questions to the end of the stream when we do the questions and answers. Main reason is because I have a terrible tendency of going off on a tangent, and our lovely social media manager Vinny is getting very annoyed at me because every time he goes to clip something important, it's then changed into a tangent for about 20 minutes and then back to the subject. So, maintaining the agenda is top priority. Let me just do a quick announcement. To the Q&A section.
Awesome.
Yes, I do have the ooh shiny. Okie dokie. Well then, let us get started. So the first thing on our agenda today for the Community Voice is some general updates. I am not sure how many of you have read the Discord, but we do now have a full timeline for our launch, for our patch cycles. The only thing we do not have right now is a time of launch. So that is still to be discussed and still to be announced. I know we're cutting it very close, but it is one of those things that unfortunately my pea-brain didn't think about until the last minute. And no doubt Vinny is shaking his head in complete disgust right now and telling me that I've done a really bad job of that. I should have really thought about it earlier.
Shit happens, man. I mean, we are so swamped with things to do, so
Yep.
it's not too late yet.
He does it, I will. True. So, let's go over very quick. I'm just going to preferably take fly mode off. There we go.
Flow about. No
Floating. So, on September 13th, we will launch with a level 85 cap. I know a lot of servers have done level 80, but considering that we have roughly 10 days before the first major patch content, so the tier 11 raids and such, we decided we're just going to allow you guys to get up to level 85. That should allow all the guys who are spamming out from the start to focus on getting your gear from heroic dungeons. On the 27th of September, tier 11 will open alongside Mythic Plus and PvP Season 9, which is vicious. A lot of servers tend to put a bit of a dampening between having the raid tiers themselves and the PvP season. We decided we're going to change the status quo for that and have them both at the same time. 1 week after, on the 4th of October, tier 11 Heroic will open, and this will also mean that the Gold, or now it's called the Scale of Deathwing, Mythic Plus item vendor will be opened as well. I did have some questions on my DMs asking if we're going to release the tier 11 normal raids in phases. The answer is no. Bastion of Twilight, Blackwing Descent, and Throne of the Four Winds will be launched at the exact same time. It's a bit of a risky move, but we feel that giving you guys the variety right away is going to be probably one of the most fun things. And based on the timeline feedback that we had, a lot of people have been asking for a longer tier 11, considering this is when things were the most balanced, when things were the most fun. In fact, I think this actually surprised me and Vinny, because we were thinking that people would want a shorter tier 11 cycle.
Yeah,
But everyone wanted a longer one.
exactly. The current one doesn't even reflect that because people wanted 2 months, and we thought, hey, maybe that is a bit much, so we just went with 1 month more. But we are open, so if you would say, hey, please 1 month more, we would also like push it back.
Exactly. So this would mean that on Proudmoore, tier 11 will last 5 months instead of the intended 4 months. If people want it a bit longer, we can definitely do it a bit longer. Coming up to the 21st of February, we will then see the 4.1 patched content, the Rise of the Zandalari, Zul'Gurub and Zul'Aman heroic dungeons will come live, and you guys will be able to go ahead and take part in that. We will probably release another bit of feedback form, another feedback form to go out as well, and ask if you guys would like Mythic Plus variations of these dungeons. Most people on the staff team, predominantly myself, are very against having Zul'Gurub and Zul'Aman on the Mythic Plus pool, but if you guys really want to see it, we will do it. Going into the 28th of February, we will then see the opening of the 4.2 patch, Rage of the Firelands. This will coincide with PvP Season 10, the Ruthless Season. And 1 week later, on March 7th, you will see Tier 12 Heroic Raids open as well. We'll then continue on that patch for roughly 4 months, until we hit June 13th, where 4.3 Hour of Twilight content will become available, with Tier 13 normal raids opening, and PvP Season 11 opening at the same time. And on June 20th, we will then see Tier 13 Heroic Raids open up. And that itself will technically mean that Proudmoore is at its end of life cycle. And at this point, we will then start to look at the promised class tweaking when we get all of the data to bring, the undervalued specs up in line. And again, guys, I am going to ask very politely, please keep all questions to the end of the stream so that we can all go over them together. Vinny and I will be looking at the chat predominantly, but if you guys could keep all of this to the end, it would help us a lot, and it means we won't forget anything. Vinny, do you have anything you want to add about the timeline itself?
Yeah, so I know this was a lot of information and data and dates, quite frankly. Don't worry, we will also have a visual one which we will then post later today.
Mhm, mhm, mhm. So, with that being said, let's move on to the next part, which is our add-on partner, Warperia. So, those keen-eyed players will have noticed that in the announcement tab, we announced a new partnership with Warperia. And some keen-eyed players will have noticed the similarities between Warperia and Fellbite. Fellbite and Warperia were made by the same person. So, if you guys did figure that out on your own, pat in the back. I'll send you a birthday cake in game. Um, so Warperia is a add-on archive for private servers. Think of this like it is basically the private server version of CurseForge and what was it called? WoW Legacy, but WoW Legacy is a bit to use on that one. The main thing that with this partnership itself is Warperia do have a private server search onto it where you guys can find all of your favorite private servers. Of course, the server owners need to put their server onto it. Sleep, the owner of Warperia, did reach out to Vinny originally to ask if we were happy to host Proudmoore onto it, which we are. We've seen a lot of new users come in from Warperia itself, so we did reach out to ask if they would like to form a partnership. So they do have a website which is in our announcement tabs, and they also have a desktop add-on, a desktop application, which you guys can use for seamless add-on updates. And we all know the pain of, on private servers when you download a new add-on, you have to download the actual folder itself, then you have to go in and unpack that into your WoW directory, and you need to make sure that everything's in the right place, and then there's times where it doesn't work, and there's usually never any updates to that. Whereas some servers have their own versions of add-ons, which are updated by the developers themselves, in which case our Mythic Plus add-on is one of them. So that has been added to Warperia today. I believe it's been approved already. So for anyone who is using the Warperia desktop app, you will be able to seamlessly download the Mythic Plus UI into your Proudmoore directory. And any updates we push to the Mythic Plus UI should be updated automatically. It'll be detected automatically and updated into your WoW directory. With that being said, another thing you can look forward to is obviously the effortless add-on management, which you mentioned. A familiar library. These guys have been approved to use the CurseForge API, so you will have a massive catalogue of CurseForge add-ons that are very easy to download straight in. And there is also going to be a review system on Warperia, so if you guys are feeling a little bit fancy and you want to help us out, please consider creating an account on Warperia and leaving us a review. Vinny, anything you want to add about Warperia, other than we're very excited to have them?
Yes, exactly. We are really excited to have them. It's also a part of our advertising plan. And guys, don't worry, you are not forced to use their services. It's all optional. So you will be able to get the add-on from us directly as well. It's just another option. And yeah, I just don't want you to think that you now have to use the add-on manager or you have to go to their website. This is all optional. We would appreciate if you would check them out, but it's not mandatory. Just optional. Just more options.
Exactly. So please don't feel forced to use it. Like I said, we are very proud to have them. I personally use their app. I think their app is sleek. It's very nice to use. It's very easy to set up. We did have some jokes about people saying it was a Bitcoin miner.
Yeah, the classic one.
Yeah, the classic one, which we've done virus scans on all this. We've ran it through Virus Total. Everything is fine. So yeah, but who knows? Who knows? Maybe they'll turn around one day and that'll be like, okay, partnership terminated. But anyhow, with that being said, we're moving on to the Mythic Plus add-on Revamp. So, I will show this now. As you guys can see, there's a few things that are slightly different from the last time that we showed this add-on. The currencies have their names changed. So, bronze tokens are now called Fragments of Chaos. Silver is now Orbs of Destruction, and the final currency gold is now called Scales of Deathwing. We decided to change the names up because calling them bronze, silver, and gold tended to give a bit of confusion, considering that the current currency for, you know, using the if I said to you, okay, yeah, exactly. If I said, okay, you need 50 gold to buy an item, which by the way, you can't use 50 gold because that's too cheap. But if someone said, okay, I have 100, you know, spend your 100 gold on an item, for a new player, they might think, what, do you mean 100 gold? Do I need to go farm quests for that? So with that being said, this has been amended. Plus, we wanted to keep with the Cataclysm theme, and these were community suggested names. So these will be used on the upcoming vendors, which we can say they are implemented. They just need the items added, and then we can push them. We also have had added in some new functions to the add-on itself, based on community feedback. The keystone. Sometimes when you got a keystone that was too hard, you only had two options. You either rerolled your keystone, or sorry, reset your keystone all the way back to level 1, or you asked someone else in the group if they had a similar level key and tried to run that. So with our community's advice and guidance, we have added a keystone -1 button. Now this will only work if your keystone is at level 2 or higher. And also, for some people who may not have noticed, if you reroll your dungeon, the icon at the top changes. Isn't that pretty? So now you can look at a glance and know exactly what dungeon you are taking part in.
Oh, Deadmines. Oh,
we're going to do a Deadmines later. Oh. Yeah, no thank you. Anyhow, so with that being said, we now want to talk about a new function to the Mythic Plus add-on, or just Mythic Plus in general. But first of all, Vinny, do you have anything you want to say about the add-on before we move on?
No, I like it. And yeah, at some point, of course, we will give you the updated version, right? It's just we are tinkering a lot at the moment, and as soon as we are comfortable sharing an updated version, we will put that on our Discord and yeah, and on Warperia as well.
Yeah, so from my last chats with the add-on devs, this version that we have, the one that I sent you, is the final one for now. And also, that has been uploaded to Warperia.
So I can share it then.
Yes,
later.
so after stream, we will share the brand new add-on.
Okay.
With that being said, a core feature of Mythic Plus has now been added to bring it in line with retail. And this is enemy forces. Gone are the days where you could easily skip 80% of the dungeon just to do the bosses. Because some people have done that. And while I'm impressed, I was genuinely disgusted about it. So, each dungeon has a very specific mob count, which we will give more info in when we go to show you how this looks. Because we will be logging over to the Kata PTR very shortly, just to give you guys a look of it, because the add-on itself and the visuals of it have been revamped to fall more in line with retail. So, gone are the days of skipping 80% of the dungeons, which does bring us on to a little caveat, and I'm sorry to shift topics for this one, Vinny, but we did put out a form for timer feedback, and we will postpone looking at the feedback for now, and we will ask that people redo the feedback itself, so that we can tell if the timer itself is too aggressive or if it's too lenient. Given the fact that people have been running the Mythic Plus right now without enemy forces being enabled, it does make us wonder that the feedback given might not be accurate anymore. So please consider giving more feedback once we have rolled this out. By the end of the Community Voice stream, the new version of Mythic Plus will be added into the PTR, so you guys can have a test of the enemy forces system. If there's any mobs that are missing from the count, please let us know. There is a caveat to it, and that is any mob that respawns. So, for example, the Trogs in Halls of Origination, the Trogs at the start of Grim Batol, and the ads at the top of the elevator in Throne of the Tides, they do not count. And the reason why they don't count is to prevent exploitation. Because if you wipe, they will respawn, and people might farm their count that way. So we have thought about that. And with that being said, we will keep that in mind for if there's a case of if the mob count is too aggressive, we obviously want to look at it. We have ran through all these dungeons ourselves several times. We've went through, I think, 4 or 5 iterations of the mob count. So there is still room for skipping. There's still room for moving around. You know, giving yourselves some extra leeway to do some funny little skips, maybe do some invisibility pot usage for that. All of that has been taken into account, so you don't need to full clear a dungeon. Absolutely not. With that
Don't
being
get
said,
distracted.
yeah,
Don't worry
I'm
about it.
reading it. I'm not even going to read
Yeah,
it.
yeah, don't worry about it.
PvP players be mad. That's all I'm going to say. With that being said, the currencies as well. Oh, sorry, Vinny, do you want to say anything about the Mythic, the enemy force implementation?
No, just that we put in a lot of work to double check as well, because, like you said, there are some enemies that respawn, and of course we don't want that you guys can exploit it, right? Of course, you still can skip some ads. Of course, we wanted to have the option because we think it's also fun to come up with solutions, you know, to be a bit more quicker in these dungeons. But yeah, it's not that abusable anymore. So
Alrighty, 1 second.
sure.
Just gonna pen that so that people don't forget.
Sure.
Anyhow, moving on. Currencies. So, originally how we had the currencies, you shouldn't be reading chat, not while Caxie's there.
No, I'm good, man. Don't worry.
So the currencies themselves, and we will show you this when we jump over to the cat PTR, which, to be honest, I think, Vinny, we should maybe look to do right now. Let's jump over.
Sure. Sure.
So we will be back on the Proudmoore PTR very shortly. Because a fundamental change has occurred with the Mythic Plus system. Now, first of all, please do not mind this Lua error. This is literally because we have the GM add-on on, and the Mythic Plus add-on hates the GM add-on. With that being said, your currencies are now physical items in your bag. Look at that. And this is to help us with the vendor implementation, which I'm just walking my way down to our Mythic Plus gathering hub, which is in the underbelly. Now, before anybody questions about the whole bag space thing, these currencies do stack up infinitely. So please don't worry about your bag space. You're literally talking 3 extra slots. It's not that much. And also, you cannot destroy these. You cannot trade these, because I did it once and it was kind of weird. So with that being said, we tried to make the currency tab work for the Mythic Plus currency. However, unfortunately, we were not able to do that. System limitation completely prevented us from doing it, so adding them as currencies was the next best option. With that being said, now these are still being worked on right now, but if I was to turn my fat ass around, ta-da! We have a small little gathering hub with our Mythic Plus vendors. And these names were chosen from community suggestions. So we have Frosty and Freezy for the fragments, which was called the bronze currency. Frigid for your silver currency, and Icy for your end currency. These will be added into the PTR very shortly. Right now, the vendors are still empty. We are currently waiting on our database dev adding the items in. As you can see, they're still empty here. This is being worked on as we speak. We have an auction house vendor. This is a neutral auction house, so that you guys can buy and sell everything from here if you wish. We have a neutral mailbox, and we have a general goods vendor. It doesn't have the best stuff in it, but I think the main thing is it has your dust of disappearances, so that you guys can change your spec whenever you want to. Or sorry, change your glyphs. Change your glyphs. So, with that being said, let us go and show you the revamped version of the UI. So, if Vinny can accept the invite, please.
Yes. No problem.
We can also see if we start the run, what I would like to do, Vinny, please do not accept. One of the main concerns that we had when we started a Mythic Plus run is you never knew who was waiting to start the run. Boom! There is a ready check now. We can now see which one of you are being lazy and not accepting the queue. Finally. And if I believe what the add-on devs have entered in is if you don't have this add-on, it will fail to start the ready check, so people will be able to tell who has and hasn't have it. No, you don't need to decline it. You can accept it now.
Okay.
Introducing your new Mythic Plus UI. As you can see, for anyone who is used to retail, this should look very familiar. And also, yes, you can move it around. Woo! It's very clean. It's going to show you your enemy force count, which we will show very shortly. And also, as per request from a few people, you can now tell what the affixes do. And the affixes will show right there. So you straight up took the TF plus UI. Maybe. It was actually Hiki that recreated it all. So, with that being said, let's just give Vinny his gear because he forgot to gear up. Yes, big W Hiki moment. With that being said, if you start killing mobs, which we're just going to GM cheat it basically, the first mob that will die, boop. As you can see, the enemy force count is now going up. And obviously, for the Mythic Plus completion, this will need to hit 100%. So we'll just speedrun this very quickly, because I'm a GM and I apparently cheat at everything because that's what GMs do, right, Vinny?
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah, we just cheat. It's like the old school, remember the, oh, how many GMs does it take to screw in a light bulb? None. They write back a response saying they'll look into it.
Yeah, pretty much.
This will also show if you kill a boss. As you can see, Ertan has now been defeated. Now, what I am hoping is that we didn't break something while doing this implementation. So, most of the mobs that you will see are able to be killed, and they will count towards Mythic Plus count. There's only certain mobs that do not count themselves. These are ones that usually have the idea of respawning and such that, well, basically any mob that respawns is one that you cannot physically count towards your count itself. You cannot loot anything in Mythic Plus because it drops at the end. And I'm waiting for people who don't have any experience in Mythic Plus to be able to tell me, this is an L, this is an L. Well, what I'm telling you is you don't know about Mythic Plus, so, you know, sucks to suck, I guess. A good example would be here. The stars themselves can technically respawn if you wipe. These do not count. So I guess you can say this is our way of saying, go ahead and skip these guys, you don't need to do them. But as we can see, we are now at the count cap, and it marks with a check mark. And with that being said, if we skip over these parts here, also just had a recommendation. You can minimize this UI if you would rather have it like this, so you guys can actually see it very easily. And if we kill Assad here, everything marks as complete. We have now completed the Mythic Plus run, and in the chat here, which Omilon's going to be shown, my key has upgraded by 3. Now, normally, if you do receive any kind of currency, it will show up here as well. Now, I just need to put this back behind the wall itself, right there. Chat hidden. In terms of loot, this is where the Mythic Plus shop will come in, which is based on our currencies. So I've already showed the NPCs themselves, the items have not been added yet. We could not have a chest spawn, we tried it, it just didn't work, so that's why we are going over the Mythic Plus store instead, and I believe, Vinny, correct me if I'm wrong, we do have a whole video about that.
About the store itself?
About how Mythic Plus items work, like where you can get them from.
Yeah, pretty much. On our YouTube channel, sorry.
Yep.
Big brain fart.
Big brain fart, yeah. And obviously this kind of works as a pseudo vault in a way, unlike the other, unlike retail and such, which you would have the chest itself and it's a random chance of getting loot. With these, with the Mythic Plus vendors, you'll be able to pick your items. So it is a bit of a, it's kind of like a pseudo L in a way for that part. It's not fully what we want with Mythic Plus itself, but this is the best way to go about it. It also minimizes that really annoying RNG, because for all the people who have done Mythic Plus on retail, they will attest to saying you're looking for that one item, and if it's not dropping in all the farm that you get, then you're hoping that your vault will have it. It doesn't have it, and then you repeat the cycle. So, with that being said, is there anything that we should add on about this part? I don't think there is there?
No, besides maybe, do we have the items already in the vendor?
No, not yet.
Okay.
The vendors are there, but the items are not. That's something that Jenny and the others are working on right now.
Well, there we go then.
Yeah, we've gave over the whole item list. In terms of pricing, this is something that we will show a bit later on. We'll get your guys' feedback on it. Again, we do want to bear in mind that Mythic Plus is not supposed to be a replacement to raiding. It is supposed to be a supplementary gear gain. So people who raid and do Mythic Plus will gear up significantly faster. People who raid alone will gear up at their own rate. People who do Mythic Plus alone will still be able to get the full Biston slot, including raid items, but it will take longer, just due to weekly caps. And speaking of, when it comes to our catch-up mechanics, and this is something I mentioned to Vinny, and again, Vinny, I'm really sorry for pulling on a tangent here. Eventually, we know that the bronze currency, the fragments of chaos, will become irrelevant, and we have had several suggestions about what to do for this catch-up. So, after a while, we're probably looking at between the 4.1 and 4.2 release of content. The bronze currency, the fragments of chaos, will become account-bound rather than soul-bound, meaning that you can send them to your alts and gear up your alts much faster. I'm hoping for a round of applause and a massive W here. Please tell us we hit a W, guys. Because I'm seeing some sarcasm saying that we're doing L's, so where's my W? Lavalis. So there we go, Vinny. We have our W.
Yay.
We can close the stream now, right?
Yeah.
So with that being said, the main parts here are. Oh, sorry. So the currencies stack up to 1,000. My apologies. I did say infinitely, but they stack up to 1,000. But I can have that changed. That's pretty easy to change.
Yeah. Do you want to go over why it wasn't possible to get them into the currency tab?
Yeah, so I did mention it previously, but I'll mention it again. This currency tab itself is an absolute nightmare when it comes to Cataclysm, and the Cataclysm client does not support having the currencies inside of your bags. We tried several different ways to make it work, but I'm really sorry, guys, we weren't able to make it work. So this is why we turned the the currencies into actual items. Plus, it also meant it would be easier for our database dev to then put all the details into the add-on, or not add-on, sorry, into the vendors.
Yeah, exactly.
It's one of those things, guys. We're working with limitations of a client that is really old and a massive pain in the ass to work. So, my apologies. But at the end of the day, this is a pretty good one. Yeah, I am broke. I'm broke. Okay. I think that's us covered, like, the major feature updates. Am I right in saying that, Vinny?
Give me a second. I will double check.
Should we mention the other big one?
Sure.
Okay, let me get my screen. Let me get my screen. 1 second. Where is the thing? Oh, I should have asked one of the GMs how to work this.
Don't worry. Take your time.
Because I'm a bit silly. But anyhow, guys, for anyone who is wondering, I'm not going to show this yet because it's not fully ready, but we are fully rebuilding our website. So our website itself has been... Oh, thank you, Omu. I just got given gold. See, GM privileges. We are fully rebuilding our website, which will also include Twitch integration, so that if you guys are upcoming content creators and you would love for another place for your stream to be shown, also our community voice streams will go onto the website as well. It will have a link back as well to the account manager, which is still being built for Proudmoore purposes. It's basically based off of the Twinstar account manager, which will also include the cash shop for all of your vanity needs and your character service needs. So this is something that we would like to continue working on, and when it is ready, the website may come down for a couple days while we put the new one back up. But it also means right now our current website is being handled through WordPress, or that's how it was made, and to be honest, it's not the best. It's the current website itself was probably made from our old admin with AI, because it takes all of the values from WordPress itself and throws it out the window. So one of our guys on the GM team has been an absolute star and decided to remake the whole thing, for the main reason of he's bored. Anything you want to add in, Vinny?
He did a lot of work, and yeah, I mean, this is a huge undertaking, so we are really thankful for all he did.
Yep.
And as soon as we are ready, you will see the difference. Yeah, let's get back to the...
Yeah, let's head back onto the normal PTR. Oh, there's a Baylor. Hi, Baylor. Anyhow, with that being said, we do have a brand new, or not brand new, sorry. We do have a request from all of you guys. We bring this up every single time, so please, please, please help us out with this, guys, because we are running our ad campaign. We're going to be putting more money into it from our end. Please check out our socials, check out our Reddit page, leave comments, leave likes, give us reviews, give us all of the love and support that we can get. Obviously, if there's things you guys don't like, please let us know. We are actively listening to feedback. So with that being said, please, please, please help us out. It only takes a couple minutes of your time to go check out our socials, and do just that little bit. That little bit does help. All of our growth in the server right now has been natural. Think about what a collective effort could do with that as well. Vinny, I know you're very passionate about this stuff because you've worked on it like no tomorrow. I just noticed that we have been spotted by players and GMs alike, so now we have some company. So please, Vinny, take it away with the socials, because I know you love banging on about it, and all I will say is, guys, please run for cover.
Yes, so about the socials, right? These are part of our advertisement. And I think it's not too much to ask, especially if you want to have a huge player count on launch, to, like the different posts, the videos on our socials. You can even pick and choose. We are on Reddit, we are on Instagram, we are on TikTok, we are on YouTube. You can pick and choose, and then, please, a like goes a long way. Just in the comment, maybe a hi or something else. It shouldn't be too much to ask, right? And then this would help us quite a lot. So yeah, I went over this like a million times. Again, this is part of our advertisement, these videos. And if you looked at our socials, there's pretty much something new every day on these different socials, and this takes a lot of time and work. So again, if you want a huge player count, please go to our socials, interact with them, and then that would be a start on that one.
Yep. And also,
Yeah, sorry, I don't want to go into more like.
It's okay, brother. Go nuts. Say what you really want. I will say exactly what Vinny wants to say. Guys, we put a fuck ton of effort into this. Please, for the love of fuck, like our shit. Thank you.
Yes, and if you have feedback, again, I'm glad when I get feedback. If I can learn something, if I can do something better. The problem currently is I see a lot of people talking, and then, when you would take maybe a minute to look at our socials, you would notice that what are you talking is already there. So again, we are doing this here for free. No one of us is being paid. And this is a huge undertaking that costs normally a lot of money. So a little bit of, respect would also go a long way.
You guys heard it here. Our social media manager is telling you all to buck up your ideas and stop being lazy. Yeah, but please, guys, do us a favor and help us out with that. That would be greatly appreciated. We're nearly at 1,000 Discord members, which is an absolute massive bit of success. I think right now we're still at 990. I think we're still at 990. Yeah, we're still at 990 right now. So again, please help us out. Get more people in. So that we can have a very big launch. Ideally, I would love to see 1,500 people on launch, but it probably won't happen. So otherwise, we're just hoping for a nice, stable, and happy launch. With that,
for sure.
Yep. Sorry.
And we are trying our best. I also mentioned this in our Discord. We're also looking in advertisement campaigns. We are just a giant gorilla.
Yeah, I've seen that. Who was that?
We also have a small YouTube ad campaign running, and we also invest more money into other things as well. We know this took a bit of time, but it had good reasons. But we are committed and we are trying our best. Yeah, just wanted to let you know.
Yeah. Oh, whoa. Noxus, for the love of fuck! Oh, hi, Omelon. I just zoomed out, there's Omelon. But yeah, guys, if you want to come and hang out at the tower at Theramore, go ahead. Don't be shy. We're all here. Hi, Amu. Just flew away. Also, calling all PvP players. PvP players. Who here is a PvP player? There is a feedback form. Go talk and put shit in there.
You can find this in our community updates channel. Aretha made an announcement about this. We would really appreciate your feedback there.
Yeah, definitely, guys. Because right now we don't have a PvP manager, so, and I'll be honest, most of us on the team, bar doing like the casual Battleground or such, none of us are very experienced in PvP. So your feedback is something that we will heavily rely on to shape the PvP scene on Proudmoore. We do still plan to do PvP style events like arena tournaments. We might even do some free-for-all events. We might do some custom arena type deal. So please, please, please give us your feedback on how you want to see or any kind of thing that you want us to know about PvP on the feedback form. Nobody can say we're not listening. We are listening. This is definitely something that we are not too comfortable with saying, yep, we know exactly how to make the best changes when it comes to PvP itself. So please let us get all your feedback on the PvP form, and we will go from there. I think that's all we had to cover for our main agenda. Am I right in saying that, Vinny?
Yeah, pretty much. Now we would go into the questions,
Okay.
right?
No worries at all. So let me name announce. Okay, so from this point on, guys, at the hour and two mark of the stream, we are now going into Q&A. So, with that being said, please, if you are in the stream, write down your questions now. If you are in game, please write it in the world chat. I will keep my UI open so we can see everything that you guys have to say. And we'll pick out a couple things based on the questions that we get. So I'm just going to scroll up in the chat and see if I can find anything. Vinny, if you see anything, please let me know.
Yeah, I can tell you something from our feedback and questions channel on Discord.
Yep.
So let me scroll up.
There's our first question as well. So what's the opening time of the 13th September? Is it like 1 PM server time? We still have not announced an opening time. We will bring that as soon as we can. There is something from a player called Fifi, who did say, I hate in Cataclysm Whitemane Plus to I have in Proudmoore. Can you be a little bit more specific, please?
Yeah, I don't know what that means.
Yeah, I'm not too sure either. Let's see. What happens to currency when the bag is full? You get it in the bank area, the vendors. Yeah, you can bank these currencies. You can put them in your bank. Anything that is overflowed, if you have no space, will go into the... it'll come from the postmaster.
The in-game mail, exactly.
Yep. Where's Aretha? She promised me an ETA for bug fixes. Unfortunately, Aretha is not well right now, so she is asked to not attend the stream right now state. However, the ETA for these bug fixes is the guys are working on it right now. I can't give a specific time because the developer we have is a little bit sporadic with his fixes. He might fix all of them in one go. He might fix them one at a time. Could not give a full answer on that, but we will get back to you on that one. What is the reason for not having, not wanting ZA and ZG in the Mythic Plus pool? The main reason why we don't have or why we don't want ZA and ZG in the Mythic Plus pool is because, one, they're already very difficult as it is. Adding the Mythic Plus scaling on top might make them way harder than they need to be. Two, there's optional bosses in there which we need to make sure that the database counts as not being counted towards the completion. It is one of those parts that, you know, again, we'll base this on feedback. If people want to see ZA and ZG on the Mythic Plus pool, we will definitely do it. I personally am against it, but I'm for the people. We are player first. If the players want it, we will definitely do it. Can you release a screenshot guide of leaving a review on Warperia? I've found the add-on, but nothing for reviews. So so to do it on Warperia, you need to first of all create an account on the Warperia site. Then you go into the servers section, you find our server, and there'll be a part there that says reviews. Can I have Proudmoore Plus if I have Whitemane Plus? Well, Proudmoore and Whitemane are two different projects, and we don't have a Proudmoore Plus. We don't know if we will add one. My question is if you can add an NPC with bank functions to the area where the vendors are. Yeah, we can easily add another NPC, not a problem. What is the Warperia site? So Warperia is our add-on partner. We did discuss that earlier in the stream, but Warperia is where you can find private servers and private server add-ons. So I'll link that here. There's the Warperia site.
You can also find more information in our announcement channel.
Yep, also, yeah, check our announcements. How did you fix the issues with people finishing Mythic Plus? Will Hearthstone be reset or is there an NPC with a teleport? So Hearthstone will reset. We've not currently added that yet. We're still working on it. So that is one that is currently on the devs to-do list. It's considered a low priority because we are focusing on trying to fix certain dungeons. One of the main things that we're trying to fix is Grim Batol. There's a lot of problems with the first and second boss there. The third boss adds spawn mid-air. The fourth boss doesn't run money channels, the Shadow Gale. So we are trying to get all those fixes done as soon as possible before we look at things like Hearthstone's resetting. A few questions. Why is there such focus on Mythic Plus? Because it's a flagship feature. It's one of the ones that we promised from the beginning. Trailer mentioned balanced PvP, but so far in the Discord, see some vague info about bone link restriction to strength classes only. Well, again, Matt, this is where your feedback as players come in. We have a form for it. Please go use it. Will Dragon Soul normal difficulty be tweaked to be a bit harder? Yes, it will. For the first part, same question for HOT, HC dungeons, since they're stupidly easy. Bear in mind, by the time that people get to those dungeons, there will probably already be people geared up. We'll play it by ear for that, but mainly Heroic itself is probably going to be left as is. It's the Mythic Plus part that we're focusing on. Any questions from the channels at all?
Yes. So this comes from Vovanos. What's the admin team opinion about specific class buffs? What are the chances it will be implemented?
So we have said before, I think we said it in the last 3 community live streams, we do want to look at class tweaking from a PvE perspective at the end of progression. So by the time we hit Heroic Dragon Soul, we want to check all the classes that are not too strong, the classes that are not the best to bring because maybe they don't do a lot of damage, and try and bring them into line. We don't want to nerf the good classes, we want to bring the bad specs up in line. Now, that might end up breaking things like PvP, so we have to play that by ear and think about some sort of custom change for PvP as well. But it might be a good thing for PvP because the meta might change very slightly. That's all yet to be seen.
Okay. What's the admin team's vision about Mythic Plus later on?
I think I need a bit more info on that one. So, for me, Mythic Plus is an evergreen system. It's something that is here to stay. It won't go away. So it will continuously evolve and continuously update. We'd love to see more affixes get planned in as well to shake up the play a bit. maybe bring, you know, certain classes that might not be too favored. We might look at their toolkit and see what they can bring, and make specific affixes that make them more valuable during that week.
Will we also have some kind of Mythic Plus seasons that would also go well with a leaderboard?
We already have seasons. They are part of the patch cycle. So the leaderboard thing is something that we do want to look at as well.
And on that front, I would like to add, we are also looking into time walking Mythic Plus dungeons and maybe even Mythic raids.
Yes, yes, yes. Mythic Raids is probably one of those ones that I am really keen to try and see if we can make work, because that will breathe new life into the content.
So, what's the admin team opinion about adding Chaos Orbs to vendor or straight to Mythic Plus drop?
I'm honestly against it, and the main reason is because we still want heroic dungeons to be used as a way to gain valor points, because we don't have valor points in with the Mythic Plus system right now. We probably won't do it, so we still want people to be able to run heroic dungeons. Chaos Orbs primarily come from heroic dungeons.
Okay. What's the admin team's opinion about regular RHC?
Random heroics are perfectly fine the way they are. We don't see any need to change them.
After, let me give some more input there. After Mythic Plus implementation, we can see random heroics quickly die. They always die anyway. What's the admin team thinking about it?
So because we don't add Valor points or Chaos Orbs to it, we don't see it dying at all. You will still need to get your Valor point items. The only way to get that is through random heroics.
What about grinding?
Apparently you're a bit quiet, Vinny. Can you maybe speak up a little? Because I can't turn you up anymore.
I can. Yeah, all good. Okay. A bit about grinding. I remembered that there is a profession called archaeologic team.
Archaeology.
Thank you. And this profession takes way too much time. What about adding constant 2x on this profession alone?
No. Archaeology is fine. It's supposed to be grindy. We're not going to change it. Unless if the community backlash enough and say, hey, we want more, like, we want to be able to earn experience faster on archaeology, fair enough. But please remember as well that some Prebis items from archaeology, like Zinrock, the staff, and so on, will shake up metas quite a bit. So we'll leave that down to community perception. If they really want it done, we can do it. Otherwise, I am very hesitant to do anything with increasing profession rates for archaeology.
Yeah, my suggestion would be, if this comes to it, maybe have it just in the weekend boni we will offer.
Yeah, definitely.
So, okay. Can I continue, or?
Just switch over to Twitch for a second.
Sure.
So what will happen in dungeons that have a chest in the end? Those dungeons chests have been gutted, Naruto, so they will not spawn. Any chances underperforming tank classes get a buff like Prot Warrior? Again, Prot Warrior is fine, it's just the case of it's not as valuable because it doesn't survive as much, but it is one of those things that we will, what is this?
There is a necropolis jumping around.
Noxus, I'm going to castrate you.
It is so funny. No,
I know for a fact it's Noxus that did that. Anyhow. So, God, I lost my train of thought now.
Sorry.
We will need to obviously look at things, you know, like logs coming to the end of the progression cycle, and we will look to tweak those classes, especially if something like Prot Warrior is not as strong as it should be. Ideally, my vision for the end of progression is that all of the classes are equally valuable, equally viable, and it just becomes a question of playstyle. Is there a plan for adding custom scaling for certain boss abilities and damage in Mythic Plus, or is this one not in your backlog? So, State, I know exactly what you're talking about. This is, for example, the chain lightning from from Assad and such, you know, the abilities that will straight up just one-shot you. This is something that we will look at on a more individual basis. We have found a way to do it, but it is really jank, so we need to do a little bit more research in that part. But we don't want to see certain abilities just straight up one-shot people. Unless you're on a ridiculously high key level with really low gear, then at that point it becomes a gear check. Why is ZGZA released so late? It's part of the 4.1 patch, so we are releasing it at the right time. With Blizzard's implementation, it was 6 months later. We're doing it 4 months. Sorry, 5 months. If you want to go back to Discord now, Vinny.
Yeah, sure. So, a bit about Tier 11. Considering the launch is in September and a bit short of time to gear up compared to the other tiers. I think this is a question before we, announce the timeline.
Yeah, so we have increased. Tier 11 will last 5 months.
Yeah, exactly. That's also the exact question there.
Yeah, I'll be back in just a moment.
Sure. So give me a second. A bit. No, interesting. Give me a second, guys. We will wait until Sylar will return. How are you doing, guys? All good? I just find it funny that you can turn people into buildings like. It is so funny. Was that even possible? Where can I see the timeline? We will add this later. A nice picture, a nice graphic in our Discord. I'm not sure. Most likely in the community updates, but it could also be in the normal announcement one. But we will post it there, so you don't have just text, but also a nice looking timeline graphic.
I'm back. Sorry, my door went.
Yeah, no problem.
I'm just gonna.
So, can I continue?
Yeah, it was cool having the necropolis, but no, thank you. Anyhow, so yeah, we've already answered about the. Let's see here.
Yeah, a question. I answered the timeline one.
Perf. Okay.
Can I continue?
Yeah, go ahead.
Alrighty. About the dampening, 27.5% damage and 25% less heal for heroic raids seem a bit too much. Not everyone can handle it. What's the team opinion about it? What about lowering it to 20% each?
So the dampening itself was based on feedback given by about 15 different guilds. Who believed that they've all played on every single variation between 15%, 20%, 25%, 30%. Some servers even had 50% dampening, and this is a value they collectively came to as the best one. So we may review it based on feedback, but without the data behind it, we will not be able to make any further changes to it. Right now, it is final, but once we have some data and some feedback, we will look to review it. Obviously, after Realm First, the dampening will start teetering off, so we might go from 27.5% down to 20, down to 15, down to 10, to off.
Good. Will the PTR always be online to test stuff, something else, with some updates as well?
Yes. The PTR we will migrate all of the characters over to the Kata PTR, so the Athena version. All of your characters will remain there. The mall will still remain there. All of that will still be available.
How do these affixes actually work? Are they additive or multiplicative? For now, I can say surely tyrannical is way harder than fortified.
They are multiplicative, I believe.
There we go. Do we want to add some more information about the affixes?
Right now, the affixes themselves, now bear in mind when it comes to Mythic Plus, and this is something that's been brought up on the Mythic Plus feedback form, and I will just put my foot down here and say it right now. Guys, Mythic Plus is not designed to be welcoming. Mythic Plus is supposed to be a difficult encounter, a difficult challenge for veteran players. So, whilst I totally understand that everyone wants to get their toes into it and wants to, you know, deal with Mythic Plus and have fun with it, we cannot make Mythic Plus more welcoming than what it already is. We have casual raid for the casual players who want to get into raiding. There will not be a casual Mythic Plus version. It's just out of the question. It completely goes against what Mythic Plus stands for. Over to Discord for a sec, or sorry, over to Twitch for a second. So will you show us right now the anonymized feedback? No state, because earlier on this stream I did say because we're adding in the enemy force count, we believe that the feedback now might be irrelevant. So we will ask for more feedback once the enemy forces have been ported over to the Proudmoore PTR, which will be done after the or after this community voice stream.
And we will make a new form then.
Yep, we'll make a brand new form because we need to know accurate feedback. Right now the feedback is based on just how Mythic Plus stands as is. That's going to change once the enemy forces is in. So basically TLDR, the feedback right now, as far as I can see, is based on old data. It's irrelevant. We now need new feedback. Do we have any other questions at all?
What are the chances will we see maybe other affixes later on?
Likely, but not for a long time.
Okay.
And the main reason being is because we need to find out what is possible on the inside the Cata client itself, and it also becomes a question of what is doable versus what is fun. Because ultimately an affix itself is supposed to make things a bit more challenging, but the way I would love to do affixes is that players can turn it around to benefit you. For example, let's say we have a sandpit spawn at all of your feats, and if the if the players are stood inside it for too long, it will stun you, but you could bring the mobs in and it might do a bit of damage to the mobs and stun them instead. So clever play will be more rewarding. Onto Twitch again for a second. Insight on what will be available in the shop? Not yet, but what we can say is mounts, pets, transmog sets. Those will be available, including some character features as well. For example, renaming your character, renaming your or changing your race, changing your faction, renaming your guild. All of those will be available through the cash shop. Will you be adding gear that is a recolor? Nope, it's just the same gear itself, Caxi. How much stronger is Mythic gear in comparison to Heroic gear percentage-wise? No difference, it's literally the same gear. With the Mythic Plus items vendors, you're not going to get Mythic Plus items. You're basically either buying Dungeon Heroic items for Fragments of Chaos, Normal Raid for Orbs of Destruction, or Heroic Raid for Scales of Deathwing. I just joined. Will Proudmoore do some reasonable promo? Because I feel there isn't much interest about the server. We're currently running ad campaigns. We are posting on our socials every day. So there is a link tree in our Discord. Please go and check it out. You guys really do help with this, but we are going to try and push our ad campaign even further.
You can also find our socials below the stream here, and here's the link tree link as well.
Thank you, Vinny. Just checking in-game. I don't see any other questions from in-game itself. Do we get to see the Proudmoore team run M plus Deadmines? Maybe.
So you already answered this question, but it's a PvP related one, and I feel like we could need some more PvP related stuff. So will Gladiator rank 1 titles be given out to 2 versus 2, 3 versus 3, 5 versus 4, plus solo queue brackets?
So as far as I know, 5v5 and solo queue are basically the same thing. We don't actually have a 5v5 bracket. It is 2v2, 3v3, and solo queue, but the guys who are rank 1, I don't see why they shouldn't get rank 1 titles. It's literally a testament of their achievement. But other than that, the other thing I think that we'll probably end up looking at is this is all going to be based on the PvP feedback itself.
Yeah, fair enough. But currently, as it stands here, why not? Sure.
Quick one from Twitch. So I am only super upset about the server being PvP. I hate dying while questing. This was actually something that we brought up quite a bit as the staff team. Because we are basically a PvP rule set server heavily focused on PvE. We did think about changing the rule set to normal, but the amount of changes we'd have to do in the database made that completely unfeasible. So
yeah,
we also feel that the small PvP crowd that we will have, no offense to them, they're probably lovely guys, but every PvP crowd of every server is a very loud minority. And they will go absolutely ballistic if we change it.
Yeah,
no offense.
On that note, you also have to bear in mind, we were thinking of actually changing this. For example, I'm a huge PvE RP guy, but we are so late into the, we are almost launching, and it didn't feel right to us to now change it. We were actually thinking about this, and yeah. Not this time. We're sorry.
Definitely. I mean, even though we are wanting Proudmoore to be evergreen, if we do decide at one point we want to do a season server, then we might change it there. It really depends. Obviously, that's plans for a long time ago. Or sorry, a long time away. Will there be a world chat? Of course there will be, Cax. There'll probably be a world chat for English, for Spanish, and Czech, I believe. We don't think we need to add other... The main thing about world chats is we need people to speak those languages in order to moderate them. But yes, there will be a world chat.
Yeah, and of course, if the population rises and there are suddenly more German-speaking people or whatever, you will see these channels, or Italian,
Yes, it is a PvP rule set server. VROS, but this is just something that was there from the very beginning. Unfortunately, we're too late to change it now. Will there be a world chat be separated for Alliance and Horde? Nope, it'll be the same world chat. Okay, good, because 100% be taunting people in World so they can come gank me. That's going to happen. I guarantee you, Cax is going to be one of those guys that's going to turn around and taunt everyone.
Yeah, exactly. There's also a question in-game. I would like to have the regular word chat in English only, and yes, like Radiant says, word chat, the regular one will be English only, sorry.
Yep, that's correct. Is there any other questions, guys, before we call it quit? Oh, what timeline are you following? In both 4.1's 1 week sooner, the ZZG is mainly used for Maelstrom Crystals, and releasing them this late will just lock people in so many cheap enchants. Releasing at least 1 month earlier would be nice. Well, again, this is something that we mentioned at the very start, Vescom, which is we have the timeline solidified, but if people are saying they want something brought forward, for example, if they want the 4.1 content, which is the rise of the Zandalari, to be brought forward, we can do that. It just depends on what people want. Because right now our tier 11 is lasting 5 months rather than 4. Is there going to be racial shift? There will be racial shift itself, so you will get your racial shift via the Proudmoore NPC. You will have a few charges of it, and we will probably look to do a case of we will refund those charges every month, most likely. And if you need more, then we'll probably look to put it for very cheap on the cash shop to give you a quick reset. Probably be looking about, what, $5 or something? Something super cheap. Is there any chance we can get cross-faction races? Like Horde Worgen, even if it's a shop feature. I don't want to have to play allies so I can play a werewolf. Unfortunately not, because that requires a very huge rescript of the database. Although, cool idea, but yeah, not possible. Any other questions, guys?
That's a cute emote.
That is a cool emote. I'm not seeing anything in feedback and questions.
No.
I'm
I
not
think
seeing
we
anything
went
in
over
general.
most of them.
Yep, not seeing anything in world chat. Also, guys, remember as well, for launch, we will have a live DJ come in for launch itself. We will have Venom playing some techno tracks on his Twitch channel, so we will point you guys there if you want to listen to some hardcore trance techno while you guys level up. Reservations. So name reservations will be done through the new account manager, and that should be live in the next couple of, I believe it's the next couple of days it should be live. I'm assuming Test Shami meant to say excited, not exited, because that's, if you're exiting for launch, I'd be genuinely scared. Those emotes are from my channel? Hell yeah. Yeah, sub to Caxi for the emotes. Anything else, guys? Anything else for us while we're still here? Because if not, we're going to try and get the new Mythic Plus system ported over with the new add-on. Anything? Going once. Going twice. Nope. Okie dokie then. Deadmines.
Deadmines plus 30, let's go.
Deadmines plus 30, GMs only, let's go. Right, we might do that another time. But anyhow, thank you guys for tuning in today. We will let you guys know when the push has been done for Mythic Plus. We'll also give you guys the brand new add-on ahead of time. But yeah, first of all, for Vinny, thank you again for your time, for being here with me. Without you, I'd be genuinely lost, confused, and probably pissing and crying in a corner.
I don't think so, but no problem.
Yeah, that is true. Omelon does have a 106 Deadmines. So with that being said, guys, thank you again for all of your time, and thank you guys for the players in general who tune into these streams. Your feedback does help us shape everything we do. It helps maintain us for the Mythic Plus, Mythic Plus, the player first deal. So 13th of September, Caxi, we'll let you know what the time is in due course. But take care, guys. We're going to replay the new Proudmoore themes while I leave Vinny here. And with that being said, guys, thank you again, and we will see you all on the next Community Voice stream, which should ideally be next week. Player first, but GMs first? Nah, we do everything for the players. Take care, guys. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
No whispers spread in the general chat. Gear up now, no turning back. Trade districts buzzing, the vibe is clear. Proudmoore's anthem, we're all here. Proudmoore, we're coming through. This world was made for me and you. September skies, the countdown's done. We'll storm the gates as one. We'll storm the gates as one. Shards of light and echoes loud. Victory's written in the crowd. No